Eivor, thank Tyr.
I heard shouting. Is something wrong?
Holger robbed me, and I demand he be punished.
Raw disappointed word. Does the deer rub the stream when she takes a drink? Does a cow rub a field when he crops on sweet grass?
Eivor, this matter requires sensitive judgment. Will you?
Of course. From the beginning, please.
Well now, there is no excuse too small, I see. Nothing to keep you from coveting that seat, is there?
In Sigurd's absence, who has better claim to oversee these disputes?
You might leave them to work it out for themselves, but that would mean letting go, would it not?
Please start again. Tell me all that has happened.
I will start. I have been falsely accused by this Saxon Philistine.
A filly what? Are you mocking me?
Silence, please. I'll hear both of your complaints and render a decision, awarding compensation if needed. Understood? Rowan, tell me your version of these events.
As you are aware, Holger and I are neighbors. Near enough that I often catch him at my stables, stealing my tools.
Borrowing.
Holger, let him speak.
Stealing, borrowing. My point being, I have always allowed him to use whatever he pleased. I greatly admire your Norse generosity and had hoped to match it. But this morning, Holger stretched the limits of my grace. Entering my stables for their feed, I found my most beautiful, gentle mare stripped of her tail. Bereft, not a strand in sight. I am ashamed to say my natural suspicion drew me to Holger, and how right I was. For when I peered across the lane, there he was, gripping a horsetail brush slathered with indigo, dragging it across a sheet of...
Painting, Rowan. I was painting. You make it sound so crude.
You see? Such willful arrogance. It will take ages for Ilgafur's tail to reach its former length. I demand compensation.
I understand. Thank you, Rowan. Holger, let me hear your side.
Eivor, you have known me as a skald for years. You have seen how my poems bring life and joy and wisdom to our people. And you know that my work requires a certain, let us say, freedom. To make use of rare resources to compose my verses. Often when lacking the proper tools, I have made use of novel items. Alvis's walking stick, Tovi's inks, all were given gladly.
You cut off my horse's tail to make a brush, you bleeding...
Rowan?
As I was saying, this morning in the throes of poetic reverie, I realized that my latest piece required delicate brushwork. I could have used a frayed stick, some cloth, my hands, but no. I needed something gentler, softer. To make a perfect brush, I needed the fine hairs of a well-raised horse. And so I availed myself of a local resource.
You clipped Alfgafur's tail to the rump, without asking.
It was early. I did not wish to wake you.
Thank you, Holger. I believe I understand your position. I believe I have heard enough. If you will...
My horse looks like a fool, Eivor. No handsomer than a donkey now. You must do something.
Do not conflate hair with beauty, Rowan. She remains radiant. Elgifur's hair will grow back in no time.
Quiet, both of you. Now listen. Holger, Rowan is clearly in the right. You sheared the tail from his horse without gaining permission.
I borrowed the tail. Borrowed! Does the reality of regrowth not make this a victimless crime?
It is a two-victim crime, Holger. Though they are unharmed, you took without asking, and that will not do. As the horse's value has diminished significantly, you will pay Rowan its market price.
But the horse was not for sale. Rowan, admit it.
My decision is final, Holger. Pay what you owe and meet tomorrow as friends.
And if I do, may I keep the horse?
Pay the man and be done with it. Rowan, Does this satisfy you?
It does. Thank you, Eivor.
Good. Then by Tyr's blessing, let this matter rest. We are done here. Return to your homes in peace.
Oh, hello, Eivor. Good day. That Holger, he is quite the character.
I almost envy him. To see the world through such a muddy glass and live with such petty concerns. He hasn't a care in the world.
Let's not walk too far with that idea. I need you right where you are.
East Anglia is with us. Their King Oswald has pledged his loyalty to us.
Eivor Kingmaker, we shall call you soon. Some interesting news. King Ceolwulf has sent Ceolbert to Shropshire. He hopes to install him as Ealdorman there.
Good for Ceolbert. He should do well considering all he has learned from you.
I gave him only a taste of my knowledge. The rest he will need to figure for himself. One more thing. I do not know if you heard, but Sven passed away a short time ago. The poor man slipped away in his bed.
Yes, I had heard. The poor man. I wish I could have spent more time with him before the end.
I think we all wish that. Tovi most of all.
I want to see the Alliance map. What of Senefordshire? Sigurd told me he had business there.
Ah, yes. Sigurd is there now, in fact. He bids you go meet him as soon as you can. He has partnered with a rebellious Thane called Giedrich, and hopes to install Giedrich as Ealdorman in exchange for an oath. There is an alehouse at the center of Buckingham. Sigurd will meet you there.
Sigurd's not here. I'll ask around. I'm looking for my brother, a large, outspoken Norseman.
Norse? Huh. Was he part of the fight here? Probably killed by Edwin's soldiers. Get gone while you can.
These soldiers always leave a bleeding mess.
Are you the alewife here?
You are not welcome here. I've had enough trouble with Danes today.
I'm not here to cause trouble. I'm looking for my brother, a large Norseman.
It was him what caused the ruckus. Him and that other one were here, talking to Thane Giedrich. Then Lady Edwin's soldiers swept in. A fight broke out. Your brother and the tanned fella got away. The soldiers nabbed Giedrich, though. I was sorry to see that. He's well liked in these parts.
Which way did my brother go?
What's it worth to you to find out?
I'm asking a simple question.
Look, Dane, you start a scene or a scuffle, and I'll scream for soldiers.
You're risking your life, and I'm the one who'll take it.
Oh my! All I know is they jumped through the window. Guards! Help! Help! Help!
It's you! You threatened on me! Come on, Eggs! It's a fight!
Focus, we have this!
Take you! Snuff you out!
These soldiers are tightly wound. Sigurd and Basim headed south. They wouldn't go far. I'll check along the river. Smells like a fish house. Good spot to hide.
Wait! Stop!
Ahlan wa sahlan, Eivor.
We could have cut you to bloody giblets, Wolf-Kissed.
Why so unnerved, brother? It's not like you.
Half the soldiers of the Shire are hunting us. You must have noticed.
Is that why you haven't come home? You're playing hide and fetch with Mercian soldiers.
Your brother's a busy man, Eivor. Weighed down by pressing duties.
It's good to see you again, Basim. Even if you haven't kept my brother trained on the task at hand.
It's not my place to lead your brother about like a bridled mare.
Now there's an idea. Brother, we should be forging alliances. Send this man back to his warren before he leads you astray.
Eivor, gods above, I'm grateful you've joined us. We have made strides towards an alliance, in fact. A local thane called Giedrich has pledged an oath to me.
I've heard of him. The alewife also mentioned a Lady Edwin who commands the soldiers. Why not ally with her?
Lady Edwin's husband was the Shire's elderman, until Gudrun's army ended his life. Now she's taken up her husband's fight, with the promise of aid from King Alfred of Wessex.
Edwin vows revenge on the Danes who stole her husband and her livelihood.
From what we know, Alfred is a fearsome king. If Edwin can win his full support, this Shire is lost to Wessex.
So to fight her, you've pledged your sword to a minor thane who likely commands a gang of farmers and fishermen.
Have faith, Eivor. A few hundred Saxons armed with hayforks and billhooks can be terrifying.
Gods.
All men and women, noble or peasant, have within them the seeds of something greater.
This is true. Sometimes greater than the average mind can fathom.
Well, Edwin has Giedrich in shackles now. All your plotting has turned to ash.
Not if we act soon. She dragged her prisoners to the Longhouse. With you here, we can mount a surprise strike.
If Giedrich is our best chance for an alliance, let's see it done.